Welcome to CEO Sales Sessions. I'm Gazi, your host, former political staffer turned entrepreneur and founder of Sales Beyond Scripts, where I build CEOs whose sales feel effortless and profit becomes inevitable. I've spent years in the highest pressure rooms, both in politics and business, and I'm bringing you everything I learned straight to this mic. No fluff, no filler, just actionable steps, tough love, and big thinking alongside some of the sharpest CEOs in the game. Let's get to work. Welcome again to another episode. I'm so happy that you're here because today's conversation is gonna make a big difference for you. Before we jump into it, let me read you the bio of today's guest. Help me welcome Vriti Panwar. She leads private wealth growth for Wealthsimple Wealth Management, where she works with high net worth individuals, families, and business owners on investment management, financial planning, and long-term wealth strategy. Vriti is passionate about making wealth management more accessible and approachable, particularly for women and young families who are building confidence with their financial lives. And honestly, she might be the person who finally made investing feel a little less intimidating for me. And I'm so glad that you said yes to being on today's episode. Thank you so much, Vriti, for being here with me.
Thank you, Gazi, for inviting me. It's an honor to be here today. And the more women I speak to, the more passionate I feel about my work. And excited to start and begin today's session.
Amazing. Before we go into a little bit about tips and actionable steps on understanding wealth and investing and how to use Wealthsimple as this really accessible tool to get started with your investments, I want to know a little bit more about your background, because one of the things I always tell my audience is you can bet on it that when I'm bringing a guest for you, that it's the real deal, that I'm not bringing you just anybody to give you advice, and I'm bringing you people that are vetted, that are qualified, and that have the results to be able to give you that tip. So tell me a little bit about your experience so people know, like, why should I trust you to give me money advice?
Absolutely, Gazi. So start with where I'm from. I was actually born and brought up in Delhi, India. I'm an immigrant to this country. I came here almost 8 years ago now. I started my career in the wealth management industry itself. I was very passionate about building my own business. And Scotia Wealth Management, particularly Scotia McLeod, they gave me the opportunity to start my own business under their brand name. And when I had started building a book and advising families on investing and financial planning, I was very passionate about helping my own community, South Asian business owners, and also women, because I came across a lot of very successful women, which, despite of their success, they didn't feel confident enough about investing in financial advice. So I set on my own path to become successful as an advisor, but also help a lot of people along the way. And I have my education in, as you said, applied economics and math. I also am a Canadian investment manager. And almost 8 months ago now, after building a book of business at Scotia McLeod, I decided to change my company and go on to Wealthsimple. And a big reason for that is that I believe that the future of wealth management is a digital platform that makes it very simple for clients to be able to access and see their investments.
Yes.
Combined with that same level of human judgment, which clients prefer when it comes to big financial decisions in their life and major investment strategies that they're trying to make. So I found that Wealthsimple is trying to be that platform which combines that technology with human judgment.
Yes.
And for now, about 8 months, I've been leading their private wealth growth segment, working with high net worth and affluent clients and a lot of women.
Incredible.
And it's been a great experience.
Yeah, amazing. And I see that myself also. As you know, my family and I have moved away from more traditional ways of banking and really just loved the ease and the empowerment of using a tool like Wealthsimple, where from the comfort of my home, I can make big money moves. It feels really empowering and kind of removes, I would say, that little bit of fear or maybe not knowing what to say or who to talk to when you go. It's like, well, I don't know that first step, but everybody knows how to use a phone, and making it that accessible has really, I feel like, is changing the game for, as you said, the future of wealth management.
Absolutely. And I think it also matters to a lot of people today having one ecosystem that gives them access to their investments, their day-to-day banking needs. If you're a business owner, how nice would it be to look at your personal investments, your business investments, your checking account, everything in one place?
Yes.
So I definitely agree that it's like having a branch in your pocket.
Yeah.
And having the ease and transparency to see all of these things at once.
That's absolutely it. That's absolutely it. So I know that you work with successful people, and I work with a lot of female founders. And what I see even through the events we host with Run the World or the clients that I'm working with is I will meet really successful women who have achieved really incredible things in their careers, but they still feel maybe a little uncertain or disconnected when it comes to their own money or the investing side of it. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and why you think that happens?
I find that it is definitely not an intelligence or a capability issue. Thinking about when you asked me this question, it brings me back to my younger days, looking at how my mom carried the money responsibility in our own household. So what I realized is that she was a professor for 20 years.
Yes.
And she was also responsible for all the household things and also my upbringing and my younger sisters.
Yes.
I found that money or finances just became one more responsibility which was competing for her attention.
Yeah, she already has like 5 full-time jobs, like raising these kids, doing these things. Like, yes.
Absolutely. So I find that the reason it's more that it's not that they're not capable enough. It's more that the time that's required to give attention to these things, the exposure, and making sure you are like completely up to date on what you're doing with your finances. It's just like one more thing that you have to take a responsibility for.
Yes.
I think that's what makes the difference.
Yeah, and I love that. And I feel more women are owning that these days. And I think it feels so good that we're witnessing that move from, also me, I'm also a child of immigrants, where in many households, it was traditionally, it's like there was responsible divide and the money wasn't always on the side of the responsibility of the women. Because again, like you said, we had 17,000 other things on the to-do list. But I think now there is more ownership and empowerment around that. And I'm loving even seeing that shift in my own culture and our own families. I think what a beautiful time to be a woman.
Absolutely. And I find that it's not that you need to know every investment product. I do feel that more women are taking more responsibility around understanding their own finances. Even if you're like married or sharing finances with your spouse, you can delegate the work of, okay, the husband or my spouse can take care of investing and financial planning. But delegation doesn't mean that you shouldn't be aware of what's going on.
Yes.
Because there might come a day when you have to take all this responsibility on yourself. And it's important that you understand exactly what you own, why you own it.
Yes.
And where it's, in which account does it lie? Like, it's very important to be aware of those things.
Yeah, even like basic financial literacy. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, knowing those things so that even the delegation comes from a place of empowerment.
Yes.
That that it's, that you could take care of it.
Absolutely.
That's it. So I want to talk a little bit about the difference between, in business, we call it the difference between profit and how much you're really taking home, because these two numbers tell a different story. And I want to talk about the difference between being a high income earner and actually building lasting wealth, because I think those are different, and you can make good money, but you could also spend all of that money, and that might not equal long lasting wealth. So what is the difference between being a high-income earner and actually building long-lasting wealth?
I think that's a really good question, Ghazi. So this is how I think about it. Income creates capacity to save, to retain. Wealth creates choices for you. And you could be a high earner, you could be making a lot of money, but if you're not retaining consistently to invest it and to make it grow, then the purpose of high income could completely be defeated in a way, and you're not accumulating and growing your assets for the future. Like, it brings me back to, like, if I could use an analogy here, it would be like, so I was a competitive tennis player for 8 years, and playing one match really great or amazingly doesn't mean that I'm going to have a great professional tennis career. It's those situations in between, those training hours, the preparation. To do that consistently in a disciplined way is what's going to make a great career. And similar with wealth.
Yes.
So I find that having a clear structure and having a consistent saving strategy, putting your money aside into a savings account or in investing before you spend it, makes a huge difference. Another thing I see in a lot of high earning women is that as your income grows, your career grows, lifestyle expenses also grow along with that. And what can happen in those situations is that a lot of people create permanent and fixed obligations for themselves when their income grows. So if every dollar that you're earning is already assigned to some fixed expense and you are creating this obligation for a long time for yourself, then also you're going to reduce your flexibility to save and invest that money.
Right.
So that's how I feel like high income can differ from creating genuinely lasting wealth.
So you talk about this discipline and the consistency, those in-between moments of the match that truly make the career. So if I'm bringing this back to the investing and building long-lasting wealth, what does that consistency and discipline look like for women?
I'd say the most important thing is having, first of all, a one-pager on what assets you have, what debts you have, what different goals you have in your life is the starting point. After that, connecting your investing strategy to every single goal in your life and making sure that if that goal requires, for example, for you to consistently save $1,000 every month and invest that in a particular investment, whatever ETF or individual stock or mutual fund that is. So you can automate this by making sure every month, this money goes into that investment strategy.
Yes.
Or you can make sure that you have like a calendar reminder or something that makes you accountable that you need to follow this discipline process to be able to genuinely get to that goal, whether it's in 5 years or 10 years from now.
I love when it's automated because you almost forget. Like when I was doing that one pager, because I had moved a bunch of money over to Wealthsimple, I had to get clear on like where was the money already, and I didn't realize that I was putting $250 every I think it was bi-weekly at the time. I didn't realize that it was just on repeat, and it had been like that for a year into some mutual fund. I was like, oh wow, I didn't even notice that was happening because it had been automated. Click and done, you forget. But if I had put the calendar reminder, I would have been like, oh, I'll do it later. Oh, this month I need the money.
Yes.
What if I'll use it on this? This is a better investment this month. So I love the idea that you're saying. It's like, if you can just systematize it and just make that commitment of, okay, this is what I'm going to put it in over a longer period of time. Because one of the things I loved hearing you talk about at the conference that I heard you speak is like the fact that like compounding is going to be your friend and starting, it's never too late to start, because the more you start, the more time you have with that. Can you talk to me a little bit about that again? Because I really loved hearing your take. I'm younger, so I have that advantage of time. I mean, sometimes people think they're always behind with money, and it's like, it's never too late to just start making those investments. If you're thinking or speaking to someone and you want to tell them that like now's the time to start so you get that compound, what would you tell that person?
This is very popular saying in investing. It says time in the market beats timing the market. And it is very true in the sense that you will see that in most situations, compounding and starting early in your investing journey does most of the job as compared to finding that one particular investment that is going to make you a lot of money.
Yes.
So I'd say that it's never too late to start, because today is the best day to start if anyone were to ask me, when should I begin? Or I see a lot of clients, both men and women,
Yes.
say to me that I don't feel that I have enough knowledge or clarity or confidence to make a decision around investing today.
Fair.
So you will never become like an expert in investments in that way. It's more about like simplifying your investing journey. It's simplifying it in a way that doesn't make you delay the investing process even more. And you get started and you have all this time on your side to actually be okay with market volatility, because there's going to be times and periods in the market when your money is not doing that great.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that's on your side is time. And I find that this compounding time in the market, starting early, becomes even more easier when people understand that market downturns are inevitable. But if you know why you're investing your money and you have a certain goal and you know the time to that goal, you will be more than okay to just take in those market downturns, because you don't need that money yet.
Yes.
You need it in 10 years from now. And that's okay. You consistently put in the money, invest it, and when you need it, you're going to thank yourself for all those years that you were disciplined enough to save and invest.
I love that even in your example, I could see that you're very clear of like, oh, that money is for that goal. So you have, it's not without intention is what I'm understanding. So just so people can understand, like, how do you get clarity on that? And one of the questions, like, well, what do you look for when you're looking for a financial advisor? Because, for example, I might not ask those questions of myself, but when I sat in your session, I really love that you were asking us, like, well, what's the goal for the 3-year, then the 5-year, then the 10-year, so that you can start to, like, I call them buckets, like, imagine what bucket is for what and how you're filling each of those buckets. What's like, how do we begin to do that? Is it something we do on our own? Would you say work with someone who could help you do that together? Because I mean, personally, I don't know what I don't know.
That's completely understandable, Gazi. And before coming to I'll answer this in 2 parts. First, let's talk about that 3-bucket system. This is something I've spoken to a lot of women about. And then we're going to talk about when it makes sense to work with an advisor and when it makes sense to just do it yourself.
Yeah.
So the 3-bucket system kind of simplifies the organization around money, because most people, it's not the investing that's going to help you in the long run. It will, but it's coordinating different things in your life together that is also going to add a substantial value. So the first thing to do is think about the 3 different pots of money. I call it money you need now. So the first bucket is now.
Okay.
The second bucket is next. And the third bucket is later. A lot of people also only have 2 buckets, now or later. Now, the first bucket is for your short-term needs. Now, this could be, think of this as your emergency reserve if something were to happen tomorrow. Maybe you want to change your career. Maybe you want to take a step back. You should have at least 3 to 6 months of your expenses in a high-interest savings account or as cash. I would prefer a high-interest savings account so it's earning a little bit at least. And liquid enough that if you need it, you can just withdraw it at any time and you're not taking any risk with it. Then comes our next bucket. This is more of your medium-term goals, say 3 to 5 years. So this could be perhaps you want to buy a home or you want to take some time off work and travel. All these different goals fit in this next bucket because you can stomach a little bit of market volatility, but you cannot go 100% risk on equities in this bucket.
Okay.
So it could be a combination of you're using maybe fixed income products like bonds, you're using some equities, you're using some combination of high interest savings accounts. So a little bit of volatility in this bucket is okay, but it's also not justified enough that you're not going to be touching this money for 10 years.
Got it.
And then we come to the final bucket. This is truly your long-term investing bucket, 10 plus years thing. This is where you can take most amount of risk. For most people, this bucket is, Gazi, their retirement.
Sure.
A lot of clients that I work with these days, millennials, Gen Z, they also like to think of this bucket as their eventual ticket to freedom.
Yeah.
That they're not thinking from a retirement sense anymore, but they're thinking of when can I have enough money saved and enough wealth accumulated that I can just live off my portfolio and I never have to work in a day in my life if I choose to do so.
Yes.
So it could be for financial freedom or it could be for your retirement.
Yeah.
And you can stomach enough volatility because, as I said,
You've got time.
You've got time on your side to recover.
So just so I understand the order of how to fill the buckets, would you say that you're filling them in order where it's like first you fill out the now bucket? So like fill that bucket up all the way to the top. Then once that one is filled, then move to the mid bucket and then the 10-year? Or are you like, I would fill a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here? Could you tell me a little bit on that?
Absolutely. The most important thing before any money gets invested is having your emergency reserve.
Okay. So that first bucket should be filled right away.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Before ever touching any investment product, the most important thing is to make sure if anything were to happen tomorrow, you're okay.
And is there like a rule of thumb of what that number is?
3 to 6 months of your lifestyle expenses.
Got it.
So if you're somebody who spends maybe $10,000 a month on, food, rent, mortgage, whatever that may be, you should at least have 3. But a lot of people also have like 6 months covered. So it could be 30 grand or 60 grand.
Yep.
And now you know that if anything were to happen, you can just go into this bucket and you'll be okay.
Yeah, for sure. You need to take time off. Family needs you. You want to take a vacation. You want to go to like whatever you need, that money is right away there. So to feel confident with your money, you're saying that's going to make you feel good to know that in the case of an emergency, you're taken care of there.
Absolutely. So it gives you that flexibility and peace of mind.
Yep.
And again, this money is not invested in a way that, the whole idea of having this liquid and in a high interest savings account is that you're not selling some investment in a bad market because you need it. That's why you need to keep it as cash or in a HISA.
Right.
Then comes the decision between, do you have a medium-term goal?
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't have any medium-term goal and everything else is going towards your long-term investing goals.
Got it.
Because a lot of people I come across, Ghazi, maybe they already own a home, maybe they inherited a home, or maybe they never want to buy a home. Because most cases, people's medium-term goals tend to be buying a house.
Yeah, fair. It's kind of like that midlife goal, even like friends my age, it's like seems like what we're working towards, especially if you live in Toronto. That can be a little hectic these days.
Toronto, Vancouver, absolutely.
That's it.
So, and I also see like with a lot of women, it could be that taking a step back from work, having children, traveling the world. A lot of Gen Z millennials, they want to take a couple of years to just go off, see the world, have new experiences.
Yes.
And having a medium-term goal where you have a certain bucket that, I'm actually saving this money and investing it because I want to take a break from work at some point in the next 3 to 5 years and go have new experiences. So once you define that medium and long-term goal, then you can choose between these 2 buckets if you need to divide your savings between these 2, or you can just keep investing for the long term, whatever money you save, after having your emergency reserve sorted out.
Yeah, I love that. I love the 3 buckets because I feel like right away it just organizes in a simple way of like, what is the money being used for and what money has to go where. And I love that because I can't remember what book it's from, but it's like, if you don't know where the money is meant to go, it's not going to flow to you as easily. And that's one of the things I truly feel. It's like when you respect money enough to know this is its use, this is what I would like to use it for in terms of my goal, then the money begins to flow because it has its respected buckets that it knows where to go to. So that's a little bit about the buckets. I'd love now to discuss a little bit about getting direction, like with financial advisors, or what that's looked like. I've been blessed along my journey to meet a few key women at the banks that I've worked with organizations that I've worked with, who truly have guided and educated me. So I really see the value in having that support. But then I've also seen other people, like my husband's like, oh, I'm a robo-advisor type of person. Like, I'm just going to go my own tradition. And now with AI. Like a lot of questions can be answered there. Even my hairstylist was telling me yesterday, me, ChatGPT, and Wealthsimple, we have dates. And I was like, I love that. But I want to know, like, when do you know to do stuff on your own and learn and DIY and maybe listen to podcasts and get some education or YouTube? And when's the time to truly get someone who's looking at your portfolio, your numbers, your buckets, your goals, and helping you make those decisions?
So working with so many clients who prefer working with an advisor and also seeing clients who prefer a self-directed approach, how I'd like to distinguish is, I think in most cases, it's not the dollar amount that determines if you should work with a professional.
Okay.
It's the complexity.
Okay.
I find a lot of clients and a lot of people that I speak to, they still think that wealth management is about which advisor can give me the best alpha or can beat the market or get me rich the fastest or has the best investment strategy in Canada or in the world. It's not that.
Okay.
I think truly where an investment professional or an advisor adds value is the planning component. So eventually a lot of people get to that stage in life when one decision around their finances could become very costly. Now, this could be closer to retirement. This could be you have enough of a portfolio that decisions around family dynamics, estate planning involve a lot of emotions, where a third person or a professional can actually help you make better quality decisions as compared to you doing it on your own.
Got it.
So it's more in the sense that, can this person actually help me save on taxes? Maybe you have reached a point where you have, as an example, you have employer shares, you have concentrated equity exposure because maybe you work for a corporation that gives you that ESOP plan. You are a business owner as well. Maybe you have a side hustle on top of your existing like regular day job. Now, these different parts of your life can get you to a situation where you have a lot of different pieces. You have an RSP account, you have a TFSA account, you have your corporation, you have employer shares, you have your other pension accounts through your employer. So how does it all fit together in one picture?
Yes.
Are there opportunities where you're maybe paying too much fees or you're losing money to the CRA in taxes, where an investment professional can help you connect all the dots and also keep you accountable on your saving habits in a way?
Yes.
So I'd say working with an advisor becomes more important when these things, you get to a point in your life where you have a lot of different pieces.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that are doing self-directed investing, I say that you're good to do it on your own if you have the time and you can keep yourself accountable and disciplined enough to do the research and consistently invest. But I feel like every successful person or high-earning person gets to a point in their life where it just makes sense to have a second opinion or have somebody making sure everything is running smoothly while you go and do your own life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you said they get to see it all come together. Yeah, I worked with someone when I was trying to get my home. It's like, well, okay, we have this coming up, but there's all these moving pieces. And again, you only know what you know. But when you work with a professional who's worked with so many families who have done this, they could just see the bigger picture and guide you. And I'm always for that. But again, I also love the self-directed to say, oh, if you could just set it up once and it be done. But I get your point. It's like you have to have that discipline to do it consistently over a longer period of time.
So up to a certain extent in your career, as you said, having that automation helps a lot because I see life gets in the way. You're busy already in your own work.
Yeah.
And I think this is not to boast a lot about Wealthsimple, but it does make it easier to have my paycheck directly go into my investing account and just set it up and never having to look at it again.
That's right. It makes it so much easier that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's just a better way to keep you accountable because now I don't have to think twice about it. As soon as I get my paycheck or one of my clients gets a paycheck, you just know it's going to be invested because you've set it up already.
That's right.
So, yeah.
I love that. And I think one of the best parts of Wealthsimple is you don't have to be an expert in money or investing to be able to take that first step. And one of the things that I know is even challenging is like, how do you walk into an institution and say, hey, I need help with money? Like, am I smart enough? Am I this enough? Am I that enough? And I think with the app, when you could just do that for yourself, this sense of confidence that comes from it and this removing of layer that you don't have to be an expert. And I think, I wonder if you feel this as well. I think that's part of building confidence with money is when you can make money decisions for yourself, that starts to build confidence. So it's not, my money confidence didn't come because I have an incredible money history or my parents were incredible with money. It actually doesn't have to do with that stuff. Is I started somewhere and I learned along the way and, started with $100 of investing. Then when I realized, oh, that was actually creating something for me, that built a little bit more confidence and I could do it again and again. So I'm wondering if you would agree that making money moves is what actually brings more confidence. And I think we touched on that a little bit before. It's not about like finding the perfect product or like invest in this or invest in that. It's not as much about that. It's just even the act of doing starts to build this money confidence. And I see that really with Wealthsimple because of how accessible it makes it for people.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, Gazi. And the way I like to think about it is that you don't need to technically evaluate every single product on the investment side. Know every single technical detail. You need to be able to answer 4 questions for yourself to have confidence and clarity. And they are, what do I own?
Okay.
Why do I own it? What kind of risk am I taking? And what's the next most important decision I need to make? Because clarity and execution both matter.
Yes.
So that's the simplest way to think about it. And you don't need to know every single technical detail and become an investment professional yourself to feel confident about your finances.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, even say sometimes like you don't really know what happens when you flick on the light. You just know that when you flick it on, the light's going to turn on and the show goes on. So with investing, I don't know all of the details and I don't have to know, but I know that every 2 weeks, $250 is going to that thing that's going to make me money. And so just knowing that sometimes is enough. And I wanted to touch on that because sometimes I feel we think we have to know the best thing or know a little bit more about it. Like if you don't know the difference between, I know even some basic things, like maybe you don't know the difference between RRSP or TFSA. It's like, get that basic financial literacy education, but also you don't have to know all of it. That's the beauty, I think, that we're talking about the future of wealth management, where it's more accessible. In the olden days, you'd have to know someone who could introduce you to the right person or this and that. It's like, as long as you've got an iPhone or any phone really, where you can go to the app store and you could download that and connect to your bank, you're going to get access to that. And I think that just creates, you said clarity with execution. That makes the execution so much easier. So my thought is like, what a relief it is that you don't have to know it all to get started and be an investor.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people think that to be a successful investor, they need to know how to predict the market and what's going to happen tomorrow. That's truly not it. It's really just, it's boring. And I think that's why a lot of people are like, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but it is supposed to be boring. It's supposed to be in a way that you're just doing it consistently and you're investing the money and you don't have to know it all, as I said.
It's kind of like the gym. It's not always exciting. You're doing the reps again and again. You've done this workout before. Some days it feels boring, but it's doing something.
Absolutely. And to echo what you said, it is very important, though, to have basic financial understanding because Canada offers us a lot of different types of accounts through which we can invest and actually have advantage on our side when it comes to taxes, like your TFSA account, your RSP account. These two ones play a major role in your long-term building of wealth. And then you have your FHSA account if you're a first-time home buyer. So understanding what benefits there are if you invest through these accounts will make a huge difference in your investing strategy.
Absolutely.
Because I think something I mentioned in that session we did at the conference, it's that it's not money that you actually keep in your pocket after CRA takes its cut is the number you should be looking at, the after-tax return. Because you'd be surprised how taxes can actually erode your journey to building wealth. So whatever you have at your disposal that could help you keep more in your pocket, you should be utilizing that to the best extent possible.
Absolutely. And you can only do that once you have that basic financial literacy.
Exactly.
That's it. I got so much value out of that session. I got to tell you, like, I didn't know you a couple months ago. We go to Ashifa's event. Ashifa and I actually met because she heard me speak at a Run the World event 2 years before that. So it's just like the power of being in the right rooms. I got so much value to the point where, like, when I got home, I moved money into Wealthsimple. Like, you got me such clarity, but also made it so simple to move into execution. And I just want to like mirror that back to you. Like, thank you so much, because even the value you're delivering here, I'm like, holy shit, like I need a notebook for all of this. Like, it truly, truly is incredible. And I love that you're saying, like, know this stuff so that you can be focused on knowing what number that you're taking home. Even me, I'm like, oh, like I'm not always focused on that number as much as I should be. Brilliant.
And another thing I see is that the kind of future we're heading into, having a platform that also supports you the same way an advisor would if you're doing it yourself becomes very important. New clients that come to me and ask me for a review on, how should I work with an advisor? One common thing I see is that with married couples or spouses, or maybe you're a person who's also managing finances for your parents.
Yep.
Eventually what happens is that in a situation where you're married, your spouse has all these different accounts lying in different institutions. Then you have your defined contribution plan with your employer, and the other spouse also has these different accounts lying in different institutions. Nobody's looking at the full picture together.
Yes.
Is there an option to actually have the ability for me to see all the different pieces together? And Wealthsimple is actually making it very easy to do that by having this householding feature.
Yes.
Where you can manually connect your external accounts.
Yes.
But whatever you have at Wealthsimple, you can have it shown in a way that both of you as a married couple can see everything together in one place.
Yes. I love that.
And I think it makes a huge difference.
Totally.
For me personally, and also when I see self-directed clients talk to me that, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing I can just know what I own, what I have as a family.
Yeah. And in one spot, you're right to say the difference accounts, like we're in different apps, looking at different things, calculating the number on a sheet. And we were like, this is too messy. We have to bring it all together because we're a team. Like we're playing together, and it shouldn't be all over the place. And I love that it's centralizing that in a way where it's clear. And I think clarity brings confidence. And when it's organized and there's order and you can see things in one place, like it just makes money feel easier and lighter in this way. Yes. Brilliant. Well, I want to ask you a personal question because, well, first of all, Wealthsimple has been on my list of a podcast guest for a very long time. And so the fact that you're here is incredible. But I wanted to know, what's one thing you love about working at Wealthsimple?
There's so many things that come to mind, but
I know. And I've heard you tell me a little bit of it here and there. We've had dinner, but I'm curious.
The culture, in a way that everybody wants to innovate there. Innovation is something that I really enjoy as representing the Wealthsimple brand, and also working with a lot of families for their, helping them with their wealth or their financial plans. Everybody wants to figure out a way to make it easier for you to manage your own wealth by yourself or with an advisor.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole team on the tech side and the marketing side, the product side, is always like getting feedback from our existing clients, testing new products, testing new frameworks in the Wealthsimple app. And it's so fast. It's not like we're waiting 2-3 years to, okay, we're going to map out everything today. Then we're going to take time to execute it. It's just really fast.
As an entrepreneur, I could appreciate that innovation and desire to move quick and create as we go, and also keep up with the times.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love the emails that I get from Wealthsimple. Like, that is marketing done well, the way that the emails are written. And I could tell it's innovative, it's modern. Like, you could see that culture of innovation even through the emails that you guys sent. Incredible.
Absolutely. So that would be one of the things I enjoy, but then everything else as well, in terms of genuinely people. I think when people are given an opportunity in the organization to innovate, come up with new ideas,
Yes,
make the product better for our clients, they are more motivated to also deliver amazing advice.
absolutely.
Like our financial advisor team, they're genuinely like so excited to bring new products to the clients and also help them on their financial journey. So I think those things go hand in hand. That's why I'd say innovation is one thing I definitely saw moving at a different pace
Yes.
when I started working for the company.
Yeah. I could just tell even from your energy, like that lights you up, which is why I imagine you love working there.
Absolutely.
That's it. Well, to wrap us up, I wanna leave us off with this. What's one thing you wish every woman in their 30s knew about money that most people figure out when it's too late?
I'd say being very intentional with permanent obligations. And what I mean by that is before you make a huge money decision around something that takes a huge chunk of your paycheck every single month, know that do you really need it? Is this fitting in your long-term lifestyle goal or not?
Yes.
Because the biggest mistake I've seen people make is that they take on a lot of these fixed expenses and permanent obligations,
Yes.
which reduces their flexibility to save and just
Yes.
having the flexibility to take a step back from work or whatever they want to do.
Yes. Yes.
So be very intentional. Talk with yourself about it. Like, is this fitting my long-term picture or not?
Yeah.
And then make that decision.
I love that. Yeah, because it's fixed. So once you commit,
Exactly.
you're in it. But I love that you say that once you know those buckets that we talked about earlier, then you can understand and be more intentional. And you know, like, is this aligned with my goals? Or maybe is it not? And kind of using the desires and the goals and weighing them out to really be intentional with whatever expenses that you're having. And it doesn't mean you can't have fun with your money, but it means you're intentional with it. And with that intent, you're also intentional with saving. And so you have that confidence with the money.
Absolutely.
What a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much, Vriti, for taking time out of your very busy schedule. Worth mentioning, you just got married, just got back from the honeymoon, and we're right back into filming this podcast. So thank you so much. And if you listened all the way to the end of this episode, I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. It would mean so much to us if you just drop down below and leave a comment. What did you take away? What surprised you? And what would you like to hear more of? Because if you have more questions, maybe we'll invite Vriti back for a part 2. With that, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, just looking forward to continuing the journey with Wealthsimple.
It's been an honor, Gazi. Thank you so much.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I know as a CEO that time is your most valuable asset, so let's make it worth it. What's one thing that you're going to implement or embody today? Because listening without action is just entertainment. So DM me your takeaway on Instagram @AuthenticGazi. I want to hear it, and I promise you I will hold you accountable. And if this episode resonated, share it with a woman in your circle who needs to hear this. And if you haven't already, follow and subscribe so you never miss a Tuesday. I'll see you next week.